All right, this is 4th grade, Module 6, Lesson 16. And in this lesson, we're going to be solving word problems involving money. Again, we're going to be adding and subtracting money, which is like a decimals. But we're still not going to be using that standard algorithm yet. That's going to come later because at this point, we're still trying to develop in our students a deep and profound understanding of the math that's going on. And we're trying to avoid having students just blindly follow a rule. So let's get started.
We're going to use tape diagrams because it says use the read, draw, write process to solve. And so Maria has $2, 3 dimes, and 4 pennies. And Lisa has $1.05. How much money do the two girls have in all? Now, I think we could, if we wanted to, do this as a single bar, but I'm going to really show that we have 2 characters in this story. We have Maria and we have Lisa, and at this point I'm going to draw the same length tape diagrams. And it says Maria has, and then I'm going to put $2, 3 dimes, and 4 pennies. And then it says Lisa has $1 and 5 quarters, and we want to figure out how much money they have in all, so that's going to be this right there. And so all we have to do is we have to add these 2 values, and I'm going to write that $2 again, 3 dimes, 4 pennies, plus we have $1 and 5 quarters. So there is no particular way for organizing all of your work to get this answer. Parents and teachers, we want to allow our students to organize their own thinking. An example of that would be, well, here's $2, here's $1, and right here is equal to $1 plus 1 quarter. 1 quarter. All right, oops, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, and so now we can see we have $2 plus $1 plus $1, so that's $4. So I'm going to put $4. And then I've got 3 dimes. Now I don't have those 5 quarters anymore, because really I have that 1 quarter because we cashed in some of those quarters for $1. So let's see, I have 3 dimes plus 2 more dimes inside that quarter, so that's 50 cents, plus we have an extra 5 cents from our quarter. So these 3 dimes plus this quarter, that's 55 cents, plus 4 more pennies, that's 59 cents. So we have $4.59. Now, parents and teachers, the cool thing about this is you'll notice I naturally went from keeping the dollars to these units. I exchanged the units to dimes and pennies. So I went from dimes, pennies, and quarters to cents. I found a common unit. Is this the only way we could have done it? No way. If we wanted to, we could have said, hey, let's take those $2, make that 200 cents. Take these 3 dimes, make that 30 cents. Take these 4 pennies, make that 4 cents. Take this dollar, make that another 100 cents. Take this, either the 5 quarters and make it 125 cents, or I can split it up into $1 plus a quarter. So I'm going to leave it as $1 plus a quarter. And so you could, if they wanted to, you could allow your students to add in pure pennies, the whole thing in pennies. Their choice. Parents and teachers, your job is to make sure the students are developing an understanding of what's going on rather than just blindly following an algorithm. Of course, getting the right answer is also paramount. So Joe has 5 dimes, 4 pennies. Jamal has $2, 4 dimes, and 5 pennies. Jimmy has $6 and 4 dimes. They want to put their money together to buy a book that costs $10. Do they have enough money? So what we have to do is we have to add all of that money. So we've got Joe plus Jamal plus Jimmy. J plus J plus J. So we got 5 dimes plus 4 pennies. So I could call that 54 cents. And then we've got $2, 4 dimes, 5 pennies. They made it easy on us. That's $2.45. So I'm going to call that 245 cents that Jamal has. Notice I'm making all my units the same this time. I'm just kind of being a little different. Now Jimmy has $6 plus 4 dimes, so that's going to be 640 cents. So I've got 3 values right here, and now we're going to add them up. Now I'm going to happen to stack them up using the stacking method, because really this is like adding whole numbers, isn't it? And I get, let's see, 4 tens plus 4 tens is 8 tens, plus 5 more tens is 13 tens. So that's 3 tens plus an extra in the hundreds column. And then 6 plus 2 plus 1, that's 9 hundreds. So we end up with 939 cents. Do we have enough money? Nope, we are short. So we're going to take 1,000 pennies because that's what $10 is. And we're going to subtract 939. And that gives us 61 cents that we are short. So the answer is no, we don't have enough money, and we're 61 cents short. Of course, this is just one way to show our work. There's other ways to do it, but this is just one way. And the last one, Carlos has $8.48. Alyssa has $4.14. How much does Carlos need to give Alyssa so that they each have the same amount of money? Ooh, wow, that's really cool. Well, there's a couple ways we can do it. Let's figure out the difference of their money. So let's figure out Carlos. How much does he have? Carlos has $8.48. So that's 848 cents. And then Alyssa has $4.14. So that's going to be 414 cents. And if we wanted to, we could say, well, if we were going to draw the tape diagram, so Carlos is 848, and Alyssa is less than that, right? She is 414. So there's a couple of ways we can do it. What we need to do is we need to think about, okay, Carlos has to give some of his money to Alyssa so that they have an equal amount. So the idea is the difference here, and then Carlos is going to give half of his money to Alyssa so that they're the same. All right, so half of the, not a half of his, all of his money, but half of the difference. So one way to do it is let's subtract 848 cents minus 414 cents, and you get 434 cents. So that's how much money separates Carlos and Alyssa, and Carlos is going to give half of his money to Alyssa. So how do you figure out that? Well, we're going to take that 434 cents. We're going to divide by 2 because that's how you find half. And you've got 2 goes into 400s twice. So that's 400s. And you got nothing, no hundreds left over. So now we have 3 tens. So 2 goes into 3 tens once. So that's 2 tens. And you have 1 10 left over. And then you bring down these 4 ones, so now you have 14 ones. And 2 goes into 14 ones 7 times, so that's your 14, and you got nothing left over. So that tells us that Carlos is going to give 217 pennies to Alyssa, and they will now have the same amount of money. And if we wanted to, we could check that. We could say, well, let's take Carlos, which is 848, and subtract 217, which means Alyssa started out at 414, and she's going to add 217 because that's how much Carlos is giving her. And we should subtract here and add here, and hopefully we're going to end up with the same value. So let's see, 8 minus 7, 1. 4 tens minus 1 10, 3 tens. 8 hundreds minus 2 hundreds, that's 6 hundreds. And so you get 631 cents. And that's for Carlos. And then for Alyssa, 4 ones plus 7 ones, that's 11 ones. So that's 1 1 with 1 10 left over. We got 1 10 plus 1 10 plus 1 10, so that's 3 tens. And then you've got 4 hundreds plus 2 hundreds, that's 6 hundreds. And sure enough, they end up with the exact same amount of money. So that wraps up a very interesting problem. I love that one. And that also wraps up 4th grade Module 6, Lesson 16, solving word problems involving money.